Yeah.
What's happening, ladies and gentlemen? And my camera just did a complete bug out. All right. All right. You
What's
know what
up,
it
world?
is.
Yeah.
You
We back.
know. You know.
We back with another one. It's your brother, Mr. Lewis.
And your main man, Coach Fizzle, it is Dizzle, my people.
And we back with a brand new episode of What?
That Blerdification Station.
Let's go. You are now watching Blerd Talk with Coach Phair, Mr. Lewis, and MG the Great. The Candid Corner presents the Blerdification Station with your hosts, Coach Phair, Mr. Lewis, and MG the Great. Welcome. What's up? Thank you for rocking with us, tuning in for another one. As I said, that dude, Mr. Lewis, and this is my brother,
The coach in the mooch in the building, baby.
MG the
What's
Great. Will be
happening,
sliding
yo?
through in a minute. I'm doing good, brother. How you doing this week?
I am maintaining, my man. Maintaining.
That's good. That's good. What you been up to?
Messing up the graphics, but other than that.
We doing this all live, y'all. We our own producers, audio
Yeah,
techs,
no, that
all of
ain't
that.
that ain't no excuse for me fumbling the ball.
So
All right, so you finished Kenobi yet?
yes, I finished the last episode yesterday. Thoroughly impressed. Already ready to see if there's going to be a season 2.
Season 2 is A New Hope.
Very true. I was just hoping they sprinkle a little more.
Yeah,
backstory.
no. I can use 6 more episodes or something before
You
A
feel
New
me?
Hope.
You
Yeah.
feel me? Yeah, it was very good. I mean, but ever since, as a kid going to Disney World at 9 years old, Disney has not disappointed me. As far as, just raw overall entertainment. You know what I mean? And I'm glad that, I'm coming from a fan standpoint when it comes to things like Star Wars. I don't really know in-depth knowledge of it, but from the spectator spot of it, to me, it's part of what made me a fan of the Star Wars universe later on. You know what I'm saying? So, I got to give respect to that. I know some of the OGs might be like, man, whatever, man. But hey, it's like,
See,
hey,
but the
this is
thing
what
is,
grabs me to it. So, what's up?
dude, that's the beauty of Star Wars, man. There ain't no right way to love it.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's no right way to vibe it. There's no instruction manual. Some people actually like The Last Jedi. I don't really understand how or why, but I've heard there are those. Those kind of people exist in the world. You know what I mean? But I mean, whatever brought you to it, man. I'm glad for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
thought,
even I had issues with The Last Jedi. I'm sorry.
piece of filth, flying filth.
Yeah.
I thought Kenobi, though it started slow, I think the desolation and just how broken a man that was so noble, so majestic to be broken down to where he was. I mean, I just found that wow, and it was all compelling, and even the emotion, even with him and Darth, and not even just the last fight, even though the last fight was wicked. That joint was wicked. I enjoyed that last fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He opened up the other side of the mask. I mean,
Yeah, man. Yeah. Like I said, I was thoroughly entertained, man.
Yeah. And they did fix some of the things, so it's like all the folk that were mad about the Grand Inquisitor, all they had to do was kind of just wait.
Mm.
And if they had just been patient and waiting instead of running to social media, they would have been like, oh.
Yeah. Fanboys really need to chill with the fake outrage.
Oh my God. I mean, you can't have mystique or intrigue anymore because folk gotta folk. You know what I mean? Sometimes we're like, man, will y'all stop folking? Like, for real. Let imagination happen. Let a story build.
Exactly. Like, yeah, exactly. It's like, what happened to sitting down and being quiet? Wait until the story is told before you add your questions and opinions.
Wait till the end of the class before you have your questions. My goodness. They got questions like in the first chapter. They talk about the end in the first chapter. Like, oh, look, they ruined it.
You know?
It just started. Let it breathe. Like some wine. Open up the mic. Let it breathe. Let the air touch it. Let it, come on. Let the essence come out. You know what I'm saying? They got to relax, brother.
But I will say one thing I have learned about Star Wars fans over the decades. Mm-hmm. No one is ever, they're never 100% satisfied.
Oh, God, no. But, well, yeah. It's like there's always going to be a small corner of the Star Wars universe that's always making noise about something. But there was, when you get the story right, there's a little bit of, you know, for the most part, the Star Wars folk are like, yeah, that was right. That was right. Mandalorian, perfect example. Boba Fett, perfect example. You know, hey, do you think, guys? You know what I mean? And so I think if they just keep hitting the right notes, you know, the next 10 or so years are going to be fascinating. I mean, because there's really just so much for them to talk about if they just dare to be different and dare to do it, you know?
Yeah.
So what else, big brother?
I've been catching up on the Ms. Marvel episode as well. I am on episode 4, just finished the wedding and all of that, and where it's finally starting to really get into some action and things are starting to unfold, and I'm starting to get an understanding of where they're coming from with this origin story, even though some have critiqued it, being that they say that the head writer of this episode was of European descent, and the fact that the origin story is like down now that they are Jinn is kind of I guess basic is what they are critiquing. But once again, like we just mentioned, I want to see how the whole story unfolds before we get to all of that. You know what I mean?
Fair. I actually, I'm behind. I stopped after the first episode, but only because MG the Great made sense.
Okay.
You know, I want to kind of binge watch the whole thing so I could just immerse myself into that world and really understand it in one fell swoop, get it all.
I feel you. See, I wanted to do that, but I'll be staying updated on other blerd podcasts and outlets and whatnot, and they were like dropping mad spoiler alerts. So I was like, hold on, let me go and catch up and watch and catch up before I get mad, so I can go on and you know what I mean. So other than that, I agree with that.
All right, so after the break, we will be right back. We have special guests. We have the first guest. We got the first guest, Lou. First guest at the Blerdification Station. First guest. And it's a home run right out the park with it.
Absolutely.
Because, we fly like that. It's just, nah. Ladies and gentlemen, we will have the marvelous writers and producers of everyone's favorite new romantic comedy, For the Love of Jason. And we are just really, really excited and blessed that they were able to take some time out of their busy schedules to stop by. So right after the quick commercial break, we will be right back.
Stay tuned. Join us tonight in a very special Charles in Charge as Scott Baio loses his job to Charles Bronson. A new season gonna be fire.
Yes, in more ways than one. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage. We've got DeShawn Flair, Phair, correct? DeShawn Phair. I
Player.
always
Yeah.
want to say Flair because
Yes.
you got so much flair and it just roll off the mouth wrong. So
Yeah, no, it's just player.
it ain't no just, my sister. It is Player. Pow. And ladies and gentlemen, to the stage, Sister Sade Oyinade.
Hello.
Everybody's mic is better than mine. I got this old crane thing and everybody else cleared. It's ridiculous. I feel like I'm playing Atari and everybody else is playing like Xbox.
Oh, it sounds good. It sounds good.
Yes, sounds good.
How y'all doing? How y'all doing, first and foremost?
Doing all right.
Doing good.
Making it in this heat.
Yeah, they in LA, ladies and gentlemen, and it's daytime still, and it's hot. We over here in the east, and it's dark and just humid. And I'm wearing a suede hat.
Hate to see it.
You inside. You inside.
Got the
Yes,
AC.
we got the AC on, and it's probably because of the hat. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, we have one of the biggest hits to surprise a lot of people last season, and it's got a second season, and it's kicking, and it's rolling, and it's doing a marvelous job out there. So, first of all, congratulations.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, how did originally the idea and the premise for this show even come about?
Well, a good friend of mine, his name is Trell Woodbury. He's the creator. He came to me and he was like, "Hey, I have a concept for the show." And he ended up writing like a pilot for it. In the beginning, it was called A Man's Perspective, so it wasn't called For the Love of Jason. And so I was like, I read the pilot and I thought like, oh, I was like, okay, this is pretty good. This is pretty cool. But he needed help, and so Sade and I are partners. We're writing and producing partners. And so I talked to Sade and she was like, all right, I'm on board. So we started a writer's room and the show grew from there.
Right on.
Okay.
So, Sade, when she came to you with the idea, what was your vibe on it?
Yeah, I was down. So it seemed like a cool show, and really liked what both of us liked was the fact that it was from a man's perspective. A lot of times when you see shows about relationships, especially some of the, certain particular struggles that, men and women go through, we usually see it mostly through like female perspective, through a woman's perspective. So that's one of the things I thought was pretty cool because I was also interested to hear a man's perspective on things. So yeah, I was down, and it seemed like a cool project.
What's really, really hip about all of this is we have, from a man's perspective, by two ladies. And that's just awesome.
Well, there's two guys and there's two women because there are females on the show.
Right.
We wanted to make sure that it was balanced, and then we have another male in the writers' room, so it's balanced. It's half and half.
Right.
Right on. Equality. Without politics, without lefts and rights. It's just people. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Message. All right, so when you first heard that you were getting a season 2, what was that feeling like?
I mean, it was a good feeling. I mean, because you always want to know that people are enjoying the show, that there's a fan base that's grown, and you can keep on working. So that's always a good feeling. So it was nice. It was a cool feeling. It was nice to know people were responding to it well, and that the network felt that people were responding to it well enough to warrant another season.
Yeah, I mean, it was exciting, but then it was kind of like, oh man, like where are we really gonna go? Because there was so many different directions that we could have,
Right.
that we went. So it was just kind of like, for me, it was like, it was excitement, but then it was just like the wheels are, were turning. And then there was a long stretch of time because we premiered in 2020 of November, but we just didn't. Season 2 didn't come back out until June of this year. So
Right.
so there was kind of a long break that we had, but overall it was excitement and just kind of figuring out like where to take the characters next.
Man, and what great characters you got. For real.
Yes.
You guys really encompassed a lot of
Yeah, I really
lot
enjoyed
of
the first
every
season,
day,
yes.
man. Like the two best friends are like my favorite, and now they beefing, and I love all of that. I mean, it was great. And then to have Jason like a co-parent, holy crap!
Yeah.
Holy crap! Because he still got a date. He's still trying to find his one, but now he got a kid with it.
Mm.
Ooh.
Yeah. And the last episode 5 airs tomorrow, but the last episode that was last week, a lot happened in the episode.
Yep. Yep.
You know,
Yep. No spoilers, but yo, tune
Yeah.
in, and if you're not watching, watch it.
Yes.
a lot happening. Like it shifted a lot of things. It shifted the friend group. It shifted circumstances.
Right.
But yeah, a lot of things pivoted last week. So.
Yeah.
Ooh,
it's-
spicy.
It somewhat, related to because a lot of stuff in life is complicated and it doesn't turn out so nice and neat. Don't always like with Jason and Carmen deciding to co-parent. Sometimes that's what happens. Someone gets pregnant in a situation doesn't always mean that that's the right situation. But and that raises the question: what is it like for a guy dating while he's got a child on the way, and then also how many? It's harder for a woman, doing the same. So it's kind of
Nobody's gonna date a pregnant woman. That
He's
was the
like
line.
DOC's perspective, like Andre 3000's perspective, kind of.
Mm.
Oh snap! Same person. Did I answer? Moving on. No, but that's really actually very outstanding, and it's a breath of fresh air to like see my issues or things that I may have dealt with played out, and with similar thought patterns to how I would have viewed that situation. Like a lot of the time, I have to kind of glean what the guy goes through. Or I'm sitting there telling somebody I'm sitting next to, yeah, what about him?
Yeah.
Piling on him. What about? Do you know he's going through it? Look at his eyes. He's sad too. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So blessings for that. Blessings
Yes.
indeed. Now, I did hear something that's going on June 20. Yeah, oh, it already happened. June 20th. Yo, so tell me about that. June 24th to June 25th. What was that? A Star Studio about the virtual conference?
Well, that was an interview that we did with Rolling Out Loud, which is a platform that is from Rolling Out Magazine. They have an online platform, and so we were featured as an interview on there, as well as Trell Woodbury, the creator, and Kareem Grimes, who plays Eric.
Okay. If y'all don't know what I was talking about or referencing, there's glamour shots right there. And there's some music that
Power
comes
poses.
with this, yo. Look at the power poses. Where's that music at? There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Telling you, man, we got stars in the building.
Yeah, Rolling Out Loud, they did a bunch of interviews that were going on, and so they were highlighting it.
Okay.
Fire. And while we have, ladies and gentlemen, our other co-host who was in the middle of Top Gun, and he's now in the building to hang out with the rest of us.
He got
MG
finished
degree.
to teaching this Top Gun stunt class. Now he's here.
Yes, we aired it out. I wasn't even trying to hide it, brother. What's happening? MG the Great, yeah, DeShawn Phair, and Sade Oyinade of
For the love of Jason.
We gotta make that money, man. Every time I hear it, and my wife and I both start singing "For the Love of Jason," it's really sad. And when she watches this episode, she's probably gonna hit me with a pillow for saying it out loud to y'all. But, now, where did that come from? Because you mentioned earlier that it was a different name in pre-production. So who chose or where did For the Love of Jason enter the fray?
Well, actually, that was a name before we pitched it. But when the network, All Black, well, it's formerly UMC, but now they are rebranded. They are All Black. They actually changed the name.
Oh, they did.
They changed the name.
Ah.
Yeah, because like once you sell a show, you might have a whole name that's your heart. That's just what you think the show is gonna be called. But when they buy it, they change it to what they
They
want.
seen those Gilligan's Island.
So they changed it, and you know, they did. They gave us a few options, and that was the best one that stuck.
Okay. I mean, well, we singing it, so you know, I think it'll stick, and I know the fans love it. So again, great job. Now, what are you guys up to next?
Well, some of the things that we're up to we really can't talk about, but we're pitching a show right now. We have, so we have a few projects that are in development, you know, with Cedric the Entertainer. So yeah, we have a development deal with his production company.
Okay, fingers crossed and blessings and all that good stuff.
And one of the shows is centered around mental health. Yes.
Okay. Indeed. Hey, we're gonna hit another quick commercial break, but we'll be right back. Can y'all stick around for just a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah, we gonna party. We got some R&B talk coming up right after this. Oh, it's gonna be
it's going down.
It's going down.
You are now watching Blerd Talk with Coach Phair, Mr. Lewis, and MG the Great.
And we are back. See the commercials real quick.
Hey,
we pay the bills and we come right on back. Hey. So, Mr. Lewis.
Yes, sir.
This is your baby. Take the lead on this one.
Well, in the light of being the final week in Black Music Appreciation Month, I wanted to get a little list going. I guess to shorten it, because I'm a music nerd and I can go on a whole episode by myself about, you know, musicians I love, especially when it comes to Black music. But we try to keep it short, you know, R&B, top 5. And I still haven't done a very good job of that. I still got like 20
male,
people.
female, or just
whoever come to mind. They don't even got to be a specific list or nothing. Just, you know,
your favorite R&B artist, top 5.
Yes, and I mean, I went with people primarily that, you know, inspired me to want to get into entertainment, be a singer as a young boy, and
I want to see their reactions when you say your list. So hit it.
Okay. Let me access my records.
And yeah.
Okay, of course, I got the great James Brown. I put the whole Jacksons, you know what I mean? Because, I mean, yes, of course, everybody says Michael, but they also forget that the rest of the
Jackson
band
Loins.
Yeah, the Jacksons.
Jackson Loins. Okay.
The Isley Brothers. Yeah, I'll keep it old school because I got a long list. Marvin Gaye and Luther Vandross.
That's not bad. Not a bad list at all.
Thank you.
Yeah. Cheesing for the class.
That was not a bad list at all.
Appreciate you.
All right, so MG the Great, because I know, well, you should have went first. Matter of fact.
Yeah, I'm gonna just jump around a little bit. So I'm gonna start with Jodeci, then I'm gonna go back to Teddy Pendergrass, then I'm gonna jump forward to Chris Brown, then I'm gonna step back a little bit, Mary J. Blige, and then we're gonna round it off with there's a little toss up, but I'll go with my mom's favorite.
What was that last one?
Aretha.
Okay.
Ah, okay, the Queen Mother.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, indeed.
Sade.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, nothing narrowed down to 5, but I know my number one, I know Bill Scott.
Yeah.
Let's see here. You know, the Jacksons all in one. I'm gonna do the same thing. Jackson, all in one, because Dad and Michael are all all the Jackson Five. Mary J. Blige,
Right on.
Jasmine Sullivan.
Oh, yeah.
That's actually a great one.
Yes,
Where am I
indeed.
at? That's 4.
Yep, that's 4.
Oh man,
One left.
I gotta
Right?
pick one of my favorite R&B groups or bands of all time. Mint Condition.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Alright.
What was the last one you said?
Mint Condition.
Oh yes, that is.
I could have called that one
Oh,
from
yeah.
a mile away, though. I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Miss Claire.
Man, I feel like I'll just be stealing from everybody else's group because their list.
Rob away, sister.
Hey,
Yeah, I'll say Jill Scott and Jasmine Sullivan. I feel like
yeah.
they're just both amazing. I'll say Luther, both skinny and big.
Yeah.
I'll say both Luther. Marvin Gaye. And I think I have one more.
Okay.
Let me see. Sam Cooke.
Ooh.
Okay, you took yeah.
Solid.
Yeah. So I'll do that. But yeah, I mean it's so many. So five.
Oh, yeah.
It's too many actually.
Yes, because I
you gotta
feel
break it down really by eras and all of that because it's just so just a dearth of just marvelous music over the decades.
I feel guilty for the people I didn't mention.
Now, because in my heart of hearts, Purple Rain is an R&B album. So Prince got to be on my list. I mean,
Right
pretty
on.
much any list, a top musician doing anything, Prince got to be on my list. I am
sir.
a purple person. I'm sorry.
Hey,
Now, I'm going to differentiate because I got the brass to do it. It's Michael Jackson. I know Janet, but it's Michael. And I mean, and it's dynamite. It's dynamite. I mean, you get to. I get
I
it.
mean, if you're gonna go with Michael, technically you really can't pick him because he's the king of pop. But
Yeah, but you know what? He got a lot of R&B in his docket. So,
and from what I've seen in my life, you're R&B until you get popular in the mainstream,
and
then
that's
all of a
what
sudden
makes
switch
it
into
pop.
no, Michael Jackson is pop, but the Jackson.
But it's because his R&B is so popular that it
There's a lot
goes
of
to.
genres underneath pop. So
Yep.
Yeah, there's a lot.
No,
And Michael
learned the lines that he
Onemo.
paid attention to.
I would say a lot similar to like TLC and Destiny's Child.
and they're both
Bang.
pop.
Nope.
R&B. There are.
See, everybody say Jackson's, everybody got peace. I say Michael, here come.
You said Destiny's Child and who else?
And technically, I do want to dial it back on.
Hey, but I don't think they.
I don't know about
Let me
James Brown
finish my
either.
list.
I don't know about James Brown either. He's the king of soul.
Boy,
R&B.
don't push us. Okay.
Well, if y'all want to be real technical, we can get rid of the R&B because it was named by Phil Spector, a white man.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Can I just finish my list? We got a philosophize and undercover brother on my list. On my list. Like, man, all I was trying to say is Erykah Badu. My goodness.
Yes, that's one I felt guilty about not adding.
Don't worry. I got it covered, my brother.
She was my wife in my head in the 90s.
Yeah, that caught me because I was going to say something and then I stopped.
Relax.
Donny Hathaway.
Ooh.
And since there's been a lot of band leaders, George Clinton.
Ooh.
Because
Funk
P-Funk
Lord
is
himself.
funk. And funk is black music and R&B is black music. So
Okay.
if you disallow him, I'm putting Sam Cooke. Either way, I'm covered. Because, man, that Silky Soul and what he did for black music in general back then was unheard of. Everybody talk about Ray Charles owning masters. Sam Cooke taught him how.
Yeah.
God.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? He was the first to own his masters. He sold records to the Rolling Stones. That's you hear that. Well, back in the day, you used to hear Rolling Stones would borrow from R&B groups. It was Sam Cooke. He licensed his records to them, let them make the money, and he get his cut.
Well, go
This
ahead and
dude-
teach us then. Teach us something.
Dude,
He was Trick Day Justin Bieber, huh?
and then he just sing them songs the way he sang them songs, and you just want to just be on that dock, buy that bitch, just wasting time, look around.
Yo, yeah, like I still
If
can't
I
hear a
could
long
whistle,
time
I
coming without
would,
getting
boy.
misty eyed.
Right?
His pain and conviction, and he told a story. Yeah, you can hear it in his voice.
And did any of you happen to see the film about Malcolm and Muhammad, and he was in it, and Jim Brown was in it?
Yeah, you talking about one night in Miami?
Yeah, One Night in Miami.
Yes.
I did not.
Ooh.
Yeah, I loved it.
Ooh. Just the depiction of all that, you know, and what he was doing, man. Listen.
Yeah, man.
And that was a great film too. We got film people in the building. That was a great film. Now,
Speaking of
any of y'all watching Kenobi?
Nope.
No.
No,
Can
no
I
Star
throw an
Wars.
honorable mention?
What did you say? I'm sorry.
What was that, MG? Where are you? What are you doing now? Are you making tapes? It look like you on the side making tapes or something.
I was gonna throw in an honorable mention since you mentioned film, and my honorable mention is the Five Heartbeats.
Okay. Now that is an amazing film.
Yeah.
Go down in history.
Because if they were real, it would be in
Big
my
up to
top.
Robert Townsend, period. Like,
Big up to Robert
Yeah.
Townsend.
I mean, now Robert Townsend, I could spend a whole episode talking about that guy
yeah, man.
because I don't
I
think
spent
that
an
guy
episode
gets
talking
talked
about
about
Hollywood
enough.
Shuffle.
Yes, Hollywood Shuffle changed my life. For real.
Black acting school. Man, listen. So, Mr. Lewis, got
Yes, sir.
anything else for us tonight?
Well, as far as the top five, that's it. But we can't talk R&B without talking about this week's most recent news, the funny stuff that is. You know, this past week's verses with Omarion and Mario. Now, I haven't seen it because it's like 4.5 hours, and I still haven't invested time enough to sit down and
Why
watch
would
this.
you? I mean,
And I was going to say because
Omarion.
I was going to
I
say
can't
yes.
do 5 minutes.
Well, yeah, I was going to say yeah because you know from the critiques and the comments, I'm like I don't think I should waste my time on it. But it seems so funny from what they comment, and I
gosh.
just want to see so I can laugh too.
Oh gosh. I
But
mean,
has anybody else seen it?
Omarion brought out watermelon slices.
So,
I saw that.
You know, I had to tune in, and you know, it was long. I felt for people on the East Coast.
Mm.
It was going on a pretty long time, but it's worth watching or at least seeing some of the clips. There's some good moments in there too. You know, so
Of
Yeah,
comedy.
it's definitely worth watching. I feel like it was the best and worst versus ever. So when I say best and worst, it was the best because it was so much comedy to the point where you're like, is this really real? Like, what is going on? There was so many like mistakes and just crazy stuff happening, and it was so many like tweetable, memeable moments to the point where like it's the gift that keeps on giving.
Yes.
And it was just like Ray J is pure entertainment.
I'm about to say, you know it's off the rails when there's a Ray J appearance and he's singing.
It's
I
just
just don't
pure
understand.
entertainment. It's a mess.
Don't understand how Willie Ray got pulled into all of that. I just do not understand.
What if he chose his own demise?
TikTok has been eating them alive.
I just think, I think it was really, really like great in that sense that it was just funny. You know what I mean? Like with it. But at the same time, it reminded you of some of the younger, well, you know, they've been in the game for a while, but they're still considered young.
Right.
But it just reminded you of like people like Sammy and, you know, Mario, that they actually can sing. And that, you know, that they were kind of forgotten about a little bit when the new wave kind of came in. And those young men can actually sing. And then it showed up the guys who don't really sing.
It showed out.
Yeah, it showed up the guys that don't really sing, and they use a lot of like auto tune and you know
dancing,
and you know and stuff like that. So it was great to see that, but it was a mess, and it was a beautiful mess.
Why didn't he just versus
So-
Marquise Houston? Like that would be his comp.
Because, you know, he thought it was easy because he has like more followers and fans, and his career with, you know, the longevity of it kind of like, you know, he's still current in a sense, right? He still has that. And he really thought, but I'm like, you know, Mario's not a dancer. He's a singer, you know. Even though he sings through his nose, he's still a singer. He's still a singer. So it was interesting.
Yeah, it was sort of very entertaining moments.
Yeah. And it's great for them because guess what? Now everyone's gonna want to go to their shows. Everyone's gonna do that, even though it was utter trash. It was so
They want to
funny
go
and
to see more
comical.
of the trash.
Yeah, it was so funny and comical that it's like great. Like, and Ray J was hosting at the BET Awards a few days later, everything like that. Like it, like I said, it was a beautiful mess. And even though it was trash, like everybody laughed and had so much fun that they're gonna get booked constantly now because of that. So, so it was fun.
Yeah. Hold on. I think I just found something, and I'm not biting off the Seuss and Mero because they do their thing. But I think every time we have a guest, if they say something fly, we need to annotate it. So, a beautiful mess. Yeah. That was fire. I see why y'all get hired to write. I see it. I understand.
Perfect 3 words, y'all.
Bang.
Great way.
So, Mr. Lou, let's jump into your paranormal joint real quick, and then we're out of here.
Yes, sir. If you would talk amongst yourselves, children, I will pull it up.
You mean this?
Also, a couple honor.
You mean that? I was just checking.
Sure.
You listen. Quick draw McGraw, bro. I got you back. That was fire beat, man.
I appreciate you, bro. Trying to pull this clip up, experiencing a little technical difficulties. You have to forgive me. My laptop did some weird updates earlier.
Oh no!
But that's all right though, because you know that's what I went to college for. So.
Right on. So, what is this clip about?
It is just a news story about a married couple who witnessed some stuff in a home they bought and decided to renovate in Michigan, and
Amityville Horror. Nice.
Similar to that, but not as spooky. And you know, it's an interesting story, and things like this I look at all the time. To for one, I'm a paranormal nerd, and for two, to see whether it's BS or not. So I finally got the clip up. My apologies. Let's get going.
What is it? Is it real? And what is it doing there? A family in Highland, Michigan believes their house is actually haunted and thinks something is harming their little girl. 7 Action News reporter Alan Campbell went to the home to see for himself.
It happened here in this room as 15-month-old Lily was inside her bed. Caught on camera, something walks in front of her crib, catching Lily's attention. Whatever
really
it is, the family says it needs to go.
It's almost like she sees something that we don't.
It's an image Heather and Josh say is haunting their home.
It was chilling. It was literally a chill down your spine, like that what if factor. Like, is this what I just saw?
Caught on the couple's nanny cam video a few weeks ago, what appears to be something moving in front of the baby crib.
I freaked out. I stopped what I was doing and I ran upstairs and I grabbed my daughter.
Heather says this so-called ghost scratched her daughter Lily and attacked her too.
It scares us that it could do something else. I mean, there was even a morning that I woke up and I had felt like something was around like someone's hands were around my neck.
A team of paranormal investigators came in and tried answering some of the couple's questions and concerns. Josh's father, Jim, says it may be someone who lived in this house before.
The story that I was told was the gentleman that lived here originally committed suicide, apparently, by jumping out this window, which is, of course, one full story down.
The couple says they don't know why this so-called ghost is targeting them, but say they don't want any part of it.
It's not physically just going after her. It feels like it's going after myself too.
I couldn't get an explanation out of it, you know. So it's freaky, is what it is.
For now, Heather and Josh say they will stay inside this place with Lily until they're able to save up enough money and move out. Reporting in Highland Township, I'm Alan Campbell.
Yeah. That one, so that's what it is, the clip of the week. What do y'all think?
I'd be moving immediately. I don't care what I gotta do.
Do y'all see my face? They scratching the cheerings.
Yes, you can see baby girl. She stood up like she sensed something was there.
Yo. Bye. Wait, Jordan. Nope.
Right.
I'm just trying to figure out why they didn't clean up for the camera crew.
Yo, oh my God, for real, right?
I was just trying to figure out why they
That's the hard-hitting questions.
And I kind of got distracted.
Yeah,
And
that was
I caught back up. And
Are they living in the barn?
Yeah,
Like,
yes.
at least throwing all that stuff in the closet or something.
that's all I was trying to figure out.
Get some Febreze or something up in there.
No, look, I believe in spirits, you know, so I definitely believe that it's happening, and it's funny that, you know, it was caught on the nanny cam. But yeah, stuff like that is it's real.
Yeah.
That's why I believe it's real. I'd have to be out. I gotta stay somewhere at least. Somewhere else.
What's the place I told you?
Yo, it could be real, just not in my house.
Yeah.
So I'm selling that house.
You see me?
Bye-bye. Now that I said the cat. Now.
Something around her neck, like
Yeah.
Yes.
But then I was like, wait a minute. That might have just been your husband trying to be freaky. So.
No, I mean, I felt I've woken up many a times and couldn't move. Like like where I stay now, before, like I've woken up in the middle of the night and couldn't move and couldn't speak. And I've tried to scream and I couldn't scream, I couldn't do anything. And then I literally just was like, just go back to sleep. And I went back to sleep, and when I woke up, like fully woke up, I was able to. But yeah, it's happened several times. So I don't know what that is, you know, with it, but I can understand when she says it feels like someone had their, you know, hand around, because I really felt like someone was keeping me from speaking.
So have you ever seen anyone or sensed a presence while this was happening?
No, I haven't seen anyone with it, but there's times when I've seen shadows and trying to figure out like what they were, because there was nothing by it to cast a shadow on the wall. But like, so I don't know. So a lot of times I literally will just, you know, try to make myself go back to sleep and just be like, when I wake up, girl, you was dreaming. I have to do that because I'm just kind of like, what in the world? But
no, I actually, quite honestly, I have felt like I'd be at a place that is not familiar, something like that, and I've always felt energies. You know what I mean? Warm energies.
Might be a slight empath.
Yeah, weird energies. If something's off, you know, I've been in places where, like, with friends, we go to this place, but it's the place. It's something's up with this building. Yeah. You know what I mean? There's energy, because we all know energy cannot be created nor destroyed. So if there's energies there, it's there. Yeah. You know what I mean? And maybe in this farm, it might be a concentrated area or something like that. All I know is that once the nanny cam showed me that, a mom, a pop, make some space in the garage because we coming.
Yeah, I was first. Let me backtrack. I asked about if you saw anything, because a lot of people who deal with sleep paralysis oftentimes say they witness shadow figures moving about and being touched, and sometimes even full-on body being manipulated by whatever shadow figure or entity they're seeing. But as far as the other point,
he knows these things.
Yeah, I'm a paranormal geek. Uh, being from PA, there are a lot of homes that are like transformed former barns into houses and all that. And being that we all on the East Coast, a lot of these houses have been up for as early as the 1700s. Some of them maybe even the 1600s. And so yeah, there's a good chance that these houses are haunted. I truly believe the apartment I'm living in now has something going on. We're always hearing footsteps. Sometimes we hear random voices. I always hear somebody messing around in my fridge every time I go in the kitchen. It's like somebody's just closing the refrigerator. Sometimes I feel people touching me and while I'm sleeping, or even when I'm sitting
I
here.
need you to move.
Now,
Have you tried sage, brother?
well, I was gonna say the only thing that spooks me out, I won't pull out my equipment and do an investigation yet. When it comes time to move, then I'll do it. But right now, I'm like, nah, I know
you don't
something's
want to
here,
know,
but I really don't want to know
there.
who it is.
You know what I mean? You want to keep guessing. There ain't nothing really here. You don't want no evidence.
And I mean, and not to mention that.
Yeah, now I still gotta be here.
Yeah, right. I don't want to know. Oh man, look.
Yeah,
Charlie, come on, Charlie.
It is what it is. I mean,
you know me now.
my next door neighbor to the right of me has talked about seeing a Civil War spirit in their apartment or their house. I live in a row home. And then my neighbors to the left of me, that house was vacant for about 2 years. It needs to be constantly people walking up and down the steps, and even the silent alarm went off twice. One time I had to call the cops because it kept going off like 2 or 3 times in the night and there wasn't nobody there. The police even tried to blame me for messing with it. You know what I mean? That's another story.
Dude,
but
I called you.
yeah, that's another story. But stuff like that is constantly just a common thing around here. These houses were built around 1900, so yeah.
Gettysburg is known to be haunted.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up. That's my favorite space. If you don't believe in ghosts, or if you just want an experience, you go there.
Go to Gettysburg.
No question. I still
I've
plan on going out
been
there.
Too.
Okay.
I was on a tour. We walked the field, where the battle was and where everybody like just fell and died. Man, we just walking that field, hollow ground. It's weird. It's weird.
Yeah.
Very weird vibes coming off there, but I was glad to be back on the bus. I was grateful for the tour, and the movie Gettysburg was moving. Yes,
it's a great place. I used to host. I used to be a host ghost tours out there for a while. So yeah, I really like Gettysburg.
Bang. All right, I think we done covered it.
All right.
I think we done covered it, and I hope y'all could get some sleep tonight. I mean.
Yeah, if not, call me. Hey, I'll be all about ready to come out and investigate, see what it is.
And Miss DeShawn, listen, put some crosses up or something, get some garlic, cause
no, I be prayed up, but I be prayed up. I be rebuking it. Like literally,
there you go.
That can make me go back to sleep. I just start praying.
Mm-hmm. Oftentimes they say the best defense is just to have just positive and light energy around you. So.
Yeah, that's actually real. I've heard that too. Well, another Blerdification Station representation.
Another great one and done. I want to thank you ladies for coming to join us tonight for our great Blerderific conversation.
Thanks for having us.
Yes, thank you for having
continued
us.
success on the show. I can't wait for season 8 to be announced. Jason's kid grows up and now he looking for love. I can't wait.
Before we go,
a new episode drops tomorrow, and then season finale is next week, directed by DeShawn. So definitely.
Hey, directors in the building.
All right. And before y'all go, tell the people where they can find you.
Well, I'm on Twitter and Instagram at Sade Oyinade. It's my first and last name.
And same, I'm on Twitter and Instagram at DeShawn Player, first and last name.
There it is, y'all.
And don't forget the Sade Oyinade website.
Yes, SadeOyinade.com.
Bang.
Mostly for my, put some of our projects up on there, but mostly for my photography out there. So, that was
yes, Sade, she's a great photographer. She recently, took some pictures that were of a producer who now works for Michael Strahan's company.
Nice.
Executive there, and her photo was featured in one of the trades. So it's pretty cool.
Right on. And look at these
Very cool.
gorgeous shots. I mean,
Yeah.
listen, I'm not going to go
Dope.
through them all because y'all got to go to this website and check
Yeah.
out this work yourself. I'm not going to do the work for you. You do the work. You support these wonderful women doing wonderful things.
Support Black women.
Support Black women, indeed. And keep your rules off their bodies. Jesus.
Big fact.
Thank you for saying it.
Have a
Not
great
going
night,
on.
everybody. Coach
Yeah.
Far in the building.
Mr. Lewis, appreciate y'all for rocking with me. Peace and love.
All right, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And ladies and gentlemen, thank y'all. We will holler at you next week. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Strap in. We gon' be back. Well.
The Candid Corner presents the Blerdification Station.